He's a barrister, and I'm always so intrigued about how the other side of the legal really works. So I'm very excited to get into your journey, and I want to start off by asking you, when did you first know that you wanted to become a lawyer? When did you first know you wanted to become a barrister? What did that journey look like for you?
That's a good question. I think in a weird way, even though I decided to do law at uni, I think I probably only realised at the end of uni that I wanted to be a barrister. And I mean, that was for a few reasons. Took a few trips to, we call them Inns of Court, to see so Lincoln's Inn, Middle Temple. So I was sold on the whole sort of pomp and pageantry of being a barrister. That was the first thing. And then I guess as well, it was just interesting to see, for anyone who wants to make an impact, right? I just thought to myself, I mean, being a lawyer or barrister clearly allows you to do that. And then I just sort of started picking up interest in certain areas, so public law, sports law, that sort of thing. And at that point, I was just sort of like, this is the career I want to do. Now, obviously, that's just the starting point, but I think I knew, probably I would say, getting to the end of my last year, that I wanted to be a legal professional. So yeah, I mean, baby steps, but I got there.
And that's really interesting because, oftentimes when you ask people, when did you want to become a lawyer? Someone says, I've known my whole life, or when I was 5, or all of these kind of
I've been arguing since I was a baby, right?
My parents said because I like to argue, I should be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But your journey was a bit more kind of maybe informed in the sense that, it was through your experiences that you realized that, okay, actually, this could be for me, right?
Yeah.
So when you got to that point, nearing the end of your university, and you're kind of like, okay, actually, I want to be a legal professional. This sounds like it's something I should be doing. What were your next steps? What did you apply for? What kind of experiences did you try and get? That sort of thing.
Sometimes you need to have conversations with people who are already doing the line of work you want to do, right? But I hadn't really sort of taken opportunity to do that. So when I got to the seeing how the legislative framework and processes work as well, that was quite interesting. So I would say that was my first experience, and I have to say one of my best experiences.
That is so interesting that you said that, getting shadowing experience with your local MP, right? How did that come about for you? Did you just, email your local MP, or how did that come about?
It was as simple as, I got a contact, went to a little cafe, got my laptop out, just wrote an email. I wasn't expecting a response, and I think within about a week, I got a response, and it was a favourable one. There's a lesson in that. I think sometimes we procrastinate, and I'm going to write a whole list of what I want to do. That list then takes you a whole week to do, and then we eventually follow it up. And so I think for me, it was just important to sort of say, look, these are the sort of things I want to do, get on and doing it. And I wasn't going to limit myself. I mean, I spent some time after that working in law firms and building my experience, via the traditional route. But I wasn't going to limit myself to sort of just doing quote unquote lawyerly jobs.
Yeah. So the two lessons I'm getting from you so far, that is, I guess first of all, proactivity. Don't just kind of sit and wait for things to happen. Just go and do it, right? If you want something, take the first step.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I'm guessing is I suppose that element of making yourself uncomfortable sometimes.
Yes.
You don't always, I'm sure going to that cafe, writing that email, you weren't expecting a favorable response, right? You didn't know what was going to happen.
Exactly.
But it was good.
Exactly. That's what I didn't realize. And maybe this may even play into why I made my decision quite late. Is sometimes we're always like, it might be a bad response I get. So we're putting it off, right? I was always saying to myself, I want to be in the best position possible before I start applying for certain stuff and writing to certain companies or for certain opportunities. But actually, you should start getting on with it as soon as possible. And I do think there's an element of getting out of your comfort zone with these things.
It's good things, you know, getting to shadow your MP and not thinking it would be great, but it ended up being amazing, that sort of thing. But I want to talk to you about some of the failures. So some of the times where you've applied for things and it didn't go your way. And maybe it didn't necessarily make you feel, you know, happy.
Yeah. We often relegate the bad stuff in our careers to the back of our minds because we're sort of like, I don't want to have to relive that. But actually, it's very important that you relive it because it's only by doing that that other people can benefit, right? And when I look back at my career, so working for my MP was just a sort of work experience, but I did that for quite a bit. But then after that, when I went to law school, finished law school, it was then time for me to apply for jobs. You know, I wanted to be a barrister, so you have to do pupillage. And it wasn't easy. The field is very big, and the opportunities are quite small. And often what you find is, at every single stage, you'll find that the competition gets bigger and better, and you often reflect that on yourself, and you shouldn't. So I remember one, and it's kind of like, particularly for any legal job, when you're sat in front of lawyers or barristers, very accomplished people, grilling you, and you come out of that and you don't get the outcome you want, you sort of say to yourself, do these people think I'm someone that they can work with? You start questioning yourself on so many levels. But then the third year I applied, I remember saying to myself, you know what? I need to take all of the experiences I've had, all of the rejections I've had, and I need to use that to my advantage. I need to find a way to make sure that these people know whoever's interviewing me, this is a well-rounded individual.
Okay, so you went through a lot of rejection, and you really had to, I guess, reflect, have a growth mindset, think about, you know, how are you going to go from 0 to 1. How would you say you drew on that support to kind of help you keep going and build that resilience to keep pushing forward?
Sometimes we don't even realize that the people that are closest to us, who see us maybe going through these rejections, are also sort of thinking of how they can help you. Because sometimes, I mean, just to use my family as an example, I'm very close with my parents, and obviously they were rooting for me and everything else. But they can see their son is going through rejection, and like, oh my gosh, our boy is not happy, right? But in a weird way, one of the things I noticed they did was just to keep on encouraging me. And I think they also realized they were very sort of realistic in the sense of, you may not get this on day one. It's a journey, and so just always keeping me in check and not allowing these rejections or experiences to cloud my ambition. And that was so helpful, and that's important.
Okay, I like that. So we've got one more question.
Yes.
But this is slightly different.
This is interesting.
And all you have to do is pick a question, read the question out, and then you answer the question. That's it.
That's easy.
Nice and easy.
Sounds good. What does resilience mean to you?
Nice and easy.
Question, I'll put this here. Resilience for me means your ability to keep going. It's where how, I mean, that sounds very simple. When you encounter difficulty or rejection or some form of failure, you will then realize how difficult resilience can be, because you'll be surprised. You will feel like, well, you'll feel as if you're confident, you'll feel as if you're accomplished, and something will hit you like a train coming at 100 miles per hour. And
if people want to get in contact with you to ask you any questions, maybe about becoming a barrister or anything like that, where can people find you? What's the best way to contact you?
I think Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. If you type in my name, Stephen Tawiah, you'll find me there. Like Stephen with a PH. And on LinkedIn as well. I'm now very active on LinkedIn. There was a period of time I didn't take my LinkedIn serious, but I do take it seriously now. It's a very, very important professional tool. So you can find me on those platforms.
Perfect. Thank you so much.